Hi, and welcome back to another episode of 12 Monkeys. I am Madam Arm, and today we're going to be reacting to episode 2 of season 1, titled Mentally Divergent. Last time I tried to remember what the second episode was called, and I said neurodivergent, but I was close enough, I think. So, last time we killed Leland by the end of the pilot episode. Then we were introduced at the very end to Jennifer instead of Jeffrey. And I'm excited because I want to see different things happen in this series than what happened in the movie. It still definitely feels like the same story. You can't take that away just by certain changes. It feels like the same story because we're dealing with a pandemic, an outbreak. And that's not necessarily generic. I mean, there's a lot of stories that tell that, but not necessarily time travel. Unless there's a million movies that I'm not thinking of that involve time travel and a pandemic. Comment those down below for the engagement if I'm extremely wrong or something. But let's get into it. I'm very excited to see where this goes.
Back to Earth. This is the past. 2004. Yeah, I had him point blank. Maybe you missed him.
Yeah, he set it in motion, but doesn't mean...
I didn't miss. Hey. You're not seriously considering going back there?
If it was already set in motion by the time you got to him.
Jones said this was one and done. I guess Jones was wrong.
He doesn't have to be the one who directly releases it.
File on 248's missing.
Cassie. Do you need to see her again?
I don't know.
Probably.
But you could have corrupted her timeline and prevented her from leaving the message which starts our entire investigation. Time is cruel, Mr. Cole.
You ready to feed the beast? Oh, yeah.
So maybe it is more of an exact science than we thought.
Shut your mouth.
That was perfect
I
timing.
want you to shot. I want you to get laid. Okay? Find some vintage.
Time is cruel, Mr. Cole. You learned enough about time to fear.
You ready to feed the beast? Oh, yeah.
An exact timing than he thought.
You can't go in there. Lasky, shut your mouth.
It's more of an exact science than he
I
thought.
want you to have fun back there.
And you
this
just
time,
started to
okay?
shut your mouth. I completely messed up the timing on that.
I want you to get laid. Okay?
You gotta shit me.
North Korea 2006.
What's going on?
Yeah, big mistake.
Coordinates were
Yeah, I'd say so.
America? No. This
No,
is a very
I
good
don't know.
for me.
Do I look or sound American? Do I speak English like an American? Oh. Now you get to be...
Assaulted 2 police officers, spent 3 nights in county.
An angel. What's your name? Satan.
Oh, that's what mental patients should be watching.
Nothing. Only it's sure a sorry name for an angel.
Very disturbing and
Please.
weird looking stuff. because he was going to die anyway, so. Him being killed the day before, or however many then, was going to make a big difference.
Did you know, Dad?
We met.
Sorry for your loss.
Ew. Oh, there goes the pill.
Reds and blues, primary.
Give me yellow, I could paint you the world.
I love colors.
What about numbers?
The monkeys. That's doctor's orders. That's the tongue thing, the temple thing. It's just lightning in my brain. It's
I like you. Oh, look at those otter eyes.
She might actually be a little bit crazier than Jeffrey was.
Okay, I'll tell you.
Sorry. Mentally divergent. Not crazy.
There were a dozen cages in my father's cage.
Jennifer.
I need to find them. Jennifer!
Yes, Constable. This gentleman tried to kill me.
Jennifer.
Constable.
Colonel, careful.
Ugh.
Slightest breeze and the flowers are gone. I don't want to do this to you. I don't.
But,
But if you ignore
but I
this
decided
message,
to make it extra disturbing for you by putting flowers on his face for no reason.
then I will.
I don't want to do this to you too far. Okay, so this like kind of upward angle with like a Dutch tilt slightly, it reminds me so much of the movie. It's like Terry Gilliam used so many like upwards Dutch angles, slanted tilt, like very weird angles in that movie.
My name's Cole.
You real Cole.
God. It's small, but still,
So facto, you are real.
Mm-hmm.
Jennifer.
So don't cut me anymore.
About the army of the 12 monkeys.
They're not real.
Yes,
They can't be.
they are. They always have been. What did you do for them?
No.
Is she a little bit more of an innocent accomplice in this?
Done to me.
And one by one, something broke inside me. Find it. One that got away. Man. He's angry.
What can you tell me, Jennifer? Where I could find the night room?
Man. He smelled of lavender and jasmine. That was my turn. Because of me.
Oh, no, they didn't. You didn't kill them.
It's hard to say. Memories are funny.
Mm-hmm. Or maybe
Dad
she
thought I
did.
did.
But I know
Maybe
the
I killed him too.
No.
flower petal
That was someone
man
else.
is real, so I don't think you
Ever
did.
since.
There you are.
Okay, I am going to pause it really quickly. Just hold check. It was something weird to me. Anyway, so it seems Jennifer is coming across a little bit more like innocent collateral in all this. Like it was partially her fault, but not nearly as much as her fault. And again, like I said, I do need to rewatch the movie because I could be misremembering things. But Jeffrey seemed a lot more arrogant, and like what happened was more his fault from what I remember. But in this, they're painting her a little bit more like an innocent person who Cole is already sympathizing with, and this could maybe not end up being the case as we go along, but right now that seems to be how it's playing out, which is a different angle to take it at for sure, because I can't imagine if her motives and her behavior were the same as her counterpart in the film, how that would really play out over seasons, that kind of dynamic, how that would exactly work with her as the antagonist. So this could be a very interesting angle to take. Also, I'm picking up vibes, like sexual vibes, with her and Cole. 'Cause I already picked up things between him and Cassie, so I don't know. We'll see.
People who sent me back, they're worried about your timeline.
It's too late for that.
Your future could affect everything.
Okay, I
Well,
don't
not if
care
the
about
scientists
your
say it
parents'
hasn't.
bullshit.
Cole! Hold back security. I need to get to her first.
Okay, I'll try.
Good luck with that. Man.
How their 12 monkeys are gonna find it.
Well, I'm still here, so she doesn't hold out forever.
Okay, maybe it is her fault then. I don't know.
Jennifer's 5.
Get to the night room first.
We.
Yeah, well, you might as well be involved now.
Explicit orders. Not to get her involved.
Let's get something straight. You do not give me orders.
I mean, if she knows how it all works,
Clear the
then
room.
she probably should.
Thing. To change this reality. But that won't happen. We don't trust each other.
Then you need to trust me.
Give and take here.
All right.
Okay. Okay, it's nighttime now, but I would like to wrap up what my thoughts on the episode were. So, I think a big ferret is scratching at my door. You're always scratching at the door. She was actually in the first video I ever tried to upload, which is technically on YouTube, but it's blocked. For nothing more than just like copyright stuff, but I haven't got to see her in any video. It's been up. My good girl. And she has 2 brothers, so if I get to see them eventually, she wants to climb around and be cute. Oh, big Gwenyon. Isn't she pretty? She wants down. I'm gonna take you back outside. I'm gonna be away from the door for a little bit so mommy can finish her work. You're so tired, you just woke up. And then you can come and wander around to the dorm again, okay? Sound good? She's deaf, so she can't hear me, but she agrees. Okay. Anyway. So a big component of this episode was getting to meet Jennifer, who I think has a very interesting portrayal and could end up being a very interesting character in this show. I know she's the female version of Jeffrey, who in his own right was an interesting character in the 12 Monkeys movie. However, I think there's going to be a lot of expansion of the characters in this show, which you would obviously have to do. But it is interesting how they portray her kind of sort of mental breakdown and mental illnesses she's suffering from due to weird things that have happened to her. Is portrayed. I remember Brad Pitt being pretty out there, and he would go on tangents, but he was a little bit more arrogant and proud, like, oh, well, you know who my dad is, kind of thing, as opposed to Jennifer, who's like, oh, I'm sorry for your loss, since you knew Leland, but not for the loss of her own father. And she kind of talks in riddles, and it's kind of reminds me of like a trope that I see a lot in genre shows with women who are suffering from a mental breakdown, like with a lot of Whedon stuff, like Joss Whedon properties, like Drusilla and Buffy, to an extent a little bit Fred when she first came into Angel, River in Firefly, Malady in The Nevers. Like, he sort of had this way of, whenever he wrote crazy women, crazy traumatized women, which he did a lot, they would kind of like talk in these riddles, and it's like they actually know what's going on more than anyone. And that's a little bit the vibe I get off of her, whereas that's not typically how they'll portray the men. Like, to an extent, Brad Pitt almost seemed like he was just trying to be annoying. And she does too, but I don't know, there's just a little bit of a difference in how it's portrayed. Like, I don't think he spoke in riddles or talked about otter eyes, at least from what I remember. No, he maybe was trying to come on to Bruce Willis at some point in the movie. And I completely forgot that, but I am pretty sure I don't remember that. Because it didn't happen, I'm pretty sure. But it kind of portrays her as being possibly innocent in all this. Though now that she's been kidnapped by the army of 12 monkeys, maybe she won't be completely innocent because she'll give up information. But it looks like it's going to be coerced out of her. Like, they gave her something at the end just there that maybe will make her talk, like sodium, what's it called? Just a second. Like, maybe it's some kind of it acts like a sodium pentothal type thing that will cause her to remember what she's not remembering correctly, or her to spill the things she already knows, which would still make her innocent in a way because she's not in control of herself. So she's already more innocent than her film counterpart, which, in a way, even Cole is more innocent than his film counterpart. At least in how they're kind of portraying him in a sympathetic light. Even though you could sympathize with him in the movie, it kind of feels a little bit calmer and more personable. The way Jennifer interacts with Cole, I know it's supposed to be like she's kind of harassing him a bit because she's not all there right now, but at the same time, I don't know. I mean, I've seen what TV shows do. Um, it could be leading somewhere, like her saying those things and straddling him, and then like while she's straddling him, even though it was supposed to be initially threatening, and he's being sympathetic and telling her, oh, you didn't kill those people, all that. But I already got vibes from him and Cassie, and maybe it's some kind of love triangle thing. Because I wouldn't put it past, I don't put it past a lot of TV shows to do that kind of thing. Not that I'm necessarily complaining. I think some love triangles are pretty interesting. And maybe Jeremy will factor into that, because maybe he has feelings for Cassie as well, and he's more than just a friend. I don't know. I don't have the relationships completely sensed out yet. But I'm sure I'll be able to pick up more as we kind of establish things and go along. And hopefully nothing super tragic happens as far as that goes, like the man with the flower petals actually getting Jeremy, because I don't know, it would be a casualty for Cassie when there's a debate anyways as to whether or not she should even be involved in all this. Yeah, because we have a couple different conflicts with that going on. And this episode was like Cole and Cassie, him telling her that she needed to leave and not be involved with this. She's like, well, I already am involved in this. Because, of course, we have to have that conflict and fighting about, like, well, you introduced me to this crazy thing. I have to continue to put my life in jeopardy because, like, why wouldn't I? Because that's how it goes in these shows. But at the same time, of course, it would be very hard when somebody introduces you to this crazy thing that you're one of the few people that has any knowledge of it, that could possibly destroy most of the world's population and kill you. Why wouldn't you want to be involved? It would be very hard not to, at the very least, be checking in, like, hey, how's that going, you know? And there's also the conflict between Cole and Katerina, because she wants him to listen to her orders. He doesn't feel that he needs to necessarily follow every step she says, because he knows what he's doing, like that he's smart enough and he's capable enough to do what she basically wants without having himself micromanaged. However, she is the one who has created this machine and has mapped out all the finer points of what they need to go back in time and change. And I feel like it would still behoove him to listen to her, but at the same time, there needs to be faith on both sides. And another part of their conflict is her very much not wanting him to involve Cassie, but by the end, even though he was arguing that Cassie should not help him, he was arguing for that. So I think it's really not truly the end of it, even though they've agreed. Both of them have agreed to let her continue helping him. It's going to be a greater conflict, and we're probably going to see the repercussions about why she shouldn't be involved with him, which kind of ties back to me talking about if she gets other people involved, like she did Jeremy, which she did kind of walk back a bit, involving him. Something like that could happen, and it could show why she shouldn't be involved, because it's messing up her timeline, along with the people she's connected to. So we shall see. And I think a big question I have is how the Army of the 12 Monkeys will differ from the film, because This feels a little bit, from what the few members we've seen and how this episode just ended, it feels like they've come to the forefront a lot more quickly, and it's not going to be quite as vague as it was for a good majority of the film. So I would like to know how well we're going to get to know these characters individually, as a group. If the objective is going to feel entirely the same, I want to know how it compares. And I guess I'll find out. But till next time, I'm Madam Arm, and we have just watched 12 Monkeys Season 1, Episode 2, Mentally Divergent. Till next time, when I watch Episode 3, with a title that it is titled Cassandra Complex. Cassandra, who saw what was coming and when nobody believed her. She was a seer. She had psychic abilities. Okay, that'll be interesting.